Ah! I'm never doing this again! Why do you always have to do this, Martina? I always have to choose the hard way just because it's gonna look good and then it takes so much time. Shut up, Agera, as we say in Norway. Martina here, and today we are going to continue on this project. As I told you guys last time, I'm going to build a castle on top of this mountain, as well as a bridge going over the river. What I really want to try out in this castle is to use an Arduino to program some LED lights and make them look like live flames, like torches and stuff around the castle. I will leave a link somewhere on the screen to this one, where I made the whole environment and stuff, so you can go and watch that before or after, or not at all. I don't decide what you do. You know what, I think I'm just gonna go and find something to draw with and try to draw a proper sketch with measurements and everything as well as I can, and hope that I can just build it from scratch without a test model. So I basically drew this. Not gonna use that one. Anyway, I drew like a top-down view with some proper measurements of what I can actually fit on the mountain, because it's pretty tiny. My only problem now is I'm having a bit of a hard time trying to envision what this will look like on the actual model. So I'm gonna go to Photoshop and try to draw it directly onto a picture of the model, and roll the time lapse. Roll the time lapse. Ooh! At the moment we're at the hardware store. I just finished my drawing, so I thought I would go inside and try to find some materials to build the base structure of the castle. I think I'm gonna go and try to find some PVC pipe. I also think I have to buy some cardboard actually, because I have to build the defense tower out of something, and that's gonna be a square. So let's go inside and see if we can find some materials for the castle. Nice! I chose some sizes that were a bit smaller than what I had drawn on the sketch. Since I'm gonna cover everything with tiny bricks, it's going to add like 2 centimeters or something on top of the PVC pipes. What to do next? I think I'm gonna make the base structure of the whole thing first, without any murstein brick. I guess I have to think about the Arduino and the LED lights at this point as well, but I'm gonna think about that after I've made the base structure and take it from there. Oh my god, I'm so freaking excited about this! It's gonna be great! Okay, let's get to work. I think I found a way to attach the PVC pipe that kinda works. It's not perfect and it's not really pretty. Since I'm gonna cover it up with bricks anyway, I'm not too concerned about the whole environment situation. So what I did was to first mark out where I wanted the PVC pipe, and then I used a tiny screwdriver to poke holes around that circle, and gradually just removing material, going downwards and sort of hammering it in place with a mallet as I went along. I've just put a bit of hot glue around it, but even on its own it stuck pretty well. Let's attach the pipe. my god, this is scary, guys. It's gonna look great, it's gonna look great, it's gonna look great. You're not destroying it. Starting to look like a castle. If we take a look at the sketch, I'm going to make quite a lot of windows on both this and this tower. Because this is PVC pipe, I can't just use like an X-Acto knife or something. And so I considered using a hot knife to cut the windows, but according to Google, that is freaking stupid. Because it turns out that the fumes that comes from PVC pipe is very toxic and possibly carcinogenic. Is that how you pronounce it?
Carcinogenic.
So I'm obviously not gonna use the hot knife. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna use a Dremel to cut out all the little windows in the castle, and I'll probably use a drill as well to make some holes for all the wires to go through to all the little torches and stuff. As you can see, I've just basically drilled a hole right through the entire pipe into this wall right here. I've done the same thing on the smaller one, so the hole goes straight through to the other side. When I'm gonna start laying the wires, I can simply just push the wire through the hole through the wall here, and it's a bit easier to get access to it with this hole in the pipe. So I can see where the wire is and where I'm like poking it. Oh my god, I'm so excited about how this castle is turning out. Like, I love the shape of it. It looks amazing. Oh, I can't believe it. Okay, I think this is going to be awesome. Like, the result. Anyway, it's finally time for me to think about covering the whole thing in bricks. And I pulled out the styro slicer again and I added this plank to the edge that I fastened with some clamps. And this way it's easy for me to just grab some styrofoam, run it along the plank, and I'll get a perfectly just straight edge. I've got a ton of bricks right here, but they don't really look like bricks because the surface is just way too clean. To fix that, I got this Ziploc bag filled with rocks of various sizes and shapes. So I'm just gonna put a lot of bricks in here, rumble it around, mash it a bit, and try to kind of like apply the rock texture onto the bricks. I just had to take a break to appreciate the progress on this castle. Look at this. Like, it blends so nicely into the landscape. Ah! I've never been this excited about a tiny castle before. I can honestly say that this is the first and last time I'm doing this. Ah! I initially thought it would take like, okay, tops 3 days, right? To cover this whole thing. Oh, how I was wrong, my sweet summer child. Well, to get this far, it's taken 5 full days doing only this, gluing bricks onto the model, and I'm not even finished yet. There's probably a whole section in hell where they only sit and glue bricks to castles. Like, that's it. And I'm so tired of it. But not everything about this is negative. Like, it looks amazing. I'm super, super happy about how it turned out. Obviously, if I wasn't, I wouldn't do it and spend this much time on it. Up until this point, I've used 1,500 bricks, and that wasn't enough. While laying the bricks, I also managed to pull the cable through the entire tower, so it starts up here where I'm gonna have the Arduino. It runs through the whole thing to the places where I'm gonna have like torches and stuff, as well as in the top of the tower where I'm gonna have some more lights. Right, so I just gotta get back to making them darn bricks. But it's gonna look amazing. I'm very positive about the result. I'm just not very positive about the process. Hello and good morning. We are back in the Nerd Forge down in the basement. I got a bit annoyed the other day with the star slicer because it just stopped cutting bricks when I had to cut a ton of bricks, and I was just slightly annoyed. Anyway, my mood is a lot better today. I just gave it some time off to cool down myself and the project. It seems like it overheats or something after being used for a couple of minutes. So today I've just been a bit back and forth between the star slicer and the model, gluing on some bricks and then going back to cut more bricks. So let's just try to wrap this up as quick as possible. Roll the time lapses. Whew. So I'm finally beginning to see the end of all this brick stuff. So I'm just gonna clean this space up a bit so I can continue on to doing some other stuff on the castle. Okay, I've been a tiny bit frustrated with this project, but right now I am just incredibly happy I did it the way I did because it looks amazing and I'm super happy with how it looks this far. But now for the next part, I have all these different types of wooden sticks that I'm going to place around the castle to make some cool detail. And after that, we're gonna go ahead and make some roofs for the towers. Good morning, guys. It's actually been a couple of days where I have just worked on some small details around the whole castle. So I thought I could just talk you up to speed on what I've been doing because it's pretty straightforward. I added some detail on the defense tower right here, some supporting like bricks and arrow slits. I also made this square roof from cardboard and paper, and I made a matching one on this tower, which is round instead. As you can see, this can be taken on and off, and I used cardboard to make both of them. I'm gonna show you in a second. I fixed the balcony on the other side with some cardboard, paper, and wooden sticks basically. I also added some wooden matches in the windows and as railing around here. I've done some adjustments to the drawing where I'm not gonna make the extension on this tower to make it taller. I refuse to make more bricks, but I'm gonna make a roof like this one instead, and that's what we're gonna begin with today. I'm gonna do the crab walk to see if it's straight. Now we can just take this template and transfer it over to some cardboard. Now it's starting to feel worth it. Before I move on and paint it, I am going to attach all the LED diodes around the castle. Because I don't know how to code Arduino, I asked Hansi very nicely if he could make some code for me, and he did. He's the best. Anyway, the code has already been uploaded to the Arduino, and it basically just tells the lights to act like flickering flames. If you want to use this code yourself and make some flickering flames, then I'll leave a link in the description that you can check out, and there you will also find just a list of all the tools, materials, electronic components and stuff from this build. Now let's get soldering.
Let's get soldering.
Okay, there are some things on the model that I don't want to paint, like the environment obviously and the balcony. So I'm just gonna mask some stuff out and then we can bring it outside and paint it black. Today is the final day of this project. Finally! There are only some few details left to fix on the castle. I'm gonna make some flames out of hot glue for the torches. I'm gonna make a drawbridge, a little door, and finally add some grass around the entire castle. So let's get moving on the final details. We'll take a look at the final result in just a second, but first of all I want to know, what did you think of this project and the fact that I chose to kind of divide it into 2 episodes? I would like to know your opinion, so please leave a comment down below. If you want to see a bit more like behind the scenes stuff and what we do both outside of YouTube and during the progress of our projects, check us out on Instagram at the Nerdforge. I also want to thank our Patreons and our YouTube members for supporting us. I'm trying to do this full time, but our projects usually take a lot of time and so we can't really post videos that often, and therefore your contribution and support really helps us out. If you want to support us, I'll leave a link to our Patreon down below, and again, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. Oh, and of course, watching our videos also helps us, so share it to all your friends. Open new tabs with all our videos or something. Thank you! Bye! So, yeah! It's really not much more to say than thanks for watching, subscribe, like, all that good stuff, ring the bell, whatever, and roll the final shots. I'm never doing something like this again. I'm probably gonna forget that I said that in like a year or something. I'm gonna be like, oh, let's overdo this and I'm gonna regret it so much. Don't do it.